one time a thing occurred to me. What's real and what's for sale? Blew a kiss and tried to take it home. Isn't you, isn't me? Search for things that you can't see. Going blind, out of reach, somewhere in the Fetzer.
Right. Welcome, everybody, to Real Deal Media's College Night. Yes, it is. It is Real Deal Media Live, Trump versus Elon, and I'm going to be monitoring all this with you here tonight. Dean Ryan, who is going to be your late night host here, as we get to the bottom of everything happening in the soap opera here of Donald Trump versus Elon Musk, something the people who are familiar with the matter never saw coming, but maybe some of us did. Maybe some of us did. So we're going to be getting into that here tonight, and obviously all of your calls, comments, questions. But in the second half here tonight, we have because it's just a fun, loving, festive type of show here tonight. In the second half, we have one of our Real Deal members, one of our night owls, Angelina Wolf, who will be performing live here tonight for the first time in Real Deal Media history. And it's going to be quite the event. And someone joining me for this evening, one of my co-hosts here tonight, is going to be howling at the moon with us, is the one, the only, the incredible crooner, recording artist, Jim Fetzer. Jim, welcome.
Steve, it's a delight. Yeah, this Elon Trump thing is quite the spat.
It sure is, Jim, and we're going to dissect it. We have kind of a dynamic show here. And Jim, I know you love to hear from the viewers and all of the audience all over the world, the fans. But Jim, it has to be something else to be said. One of our wonderful musical guests tonight was inspired by your crooning, and that's how this is all coming together. So you must feel proud, Jim.
I'm sure.
Yeah. We just love it here tonight. And Jim, I have to say, before we even go further, I am surprised to see you, if you don't know, because Jim has such a high profile lately, right? He's got a high profile lately, and we're all wondering, is he going to change his look? Is he going to go Hollywood on us? And so far, he hasn't for the cameras, but behind the scenes, well, this is Jim after the cameras are off. Just locally, there he is. Yeah, I love it too, Jim. We love it too. Okay, so all right, Jim, stand by there as we're going to get to some things here. Stand by. All right, let's get to it here with some headlines from around the world here. Headlines from around the world. Well, let's talk about the fight that's being heard around the world, and that's Elon Musk versus Donald Trump. Well, it was just like yesterday, the bromance started. Well, now that seems to be a different case now. Ever since the big, beautiful bill, which I thought originally was a play on Build Back Better, which then I thought was a play on of 666, but who am I? Who am I? Well, let's talk about this a bit more now, as now the fight seems to be getting worse. Elon Musk is even telling people like Laura Loomer, one of the proud agents of the Mossad, that Republicans should side with him in this spat because Trump will die first. I'm jumping ahead, but here's a little video to put it all into some kind of perspective here. Very, very weird stuff.
And I'll tell you, he's not the first. People leave my administration and they love us. and then at some point they miss it so badly, and some of them embrace it, and some of them actually become hostile. I don't know what it is. It's sort of Trump derangement syndrome, I guess they call it, but we have it with others too. They leave, and they wake up in the morning, and the glamour's gone, the whole world is different, and they become hostile. I don't know what it is. Someday you'll write a book about it, and you'll let us know.
Yeah, someday you'll write a book about it. And wait, there's more to this story as we dissect this, because I'm telling you, the stocks are plummeting right now in the Dogecoin and everything. This is splitting so many, and I'm going to show you what Elon's saying next. All because of the bill. He said it is egregious. It's abomination, he just said the other day. Here's part two.
A man who was very happy when he stood behind the Oval Desk, and even with the black eye, I said, "Do you want a little makeup? We'll get you a little makeup." But he said, "No, I don't think so," which is interesting and very nice. He wants to be who he is, so you could make that statement too, I guess. Look, Elon and I had a great relationship. I don't know if we're well anymore. I was surprised because you were here. Everybody in this room practically was here as we had a wonderful send-off. He said wonderful things about me. You couldn't have nicer. Said the best thing. He's worn the hat. Trump was right about everything. And I am right about the great, big, beautiful bill. We call it a great, big, beautiful bill because that's what it is.
Great, big, beautiful bill. Well, let's bring in the great, big, very intelligent bill, or the intelligent Jim, Fetzer Jim. Let's talk about what in the world is going on. Nobody knows. People are waking up today of what just took place. Jim Fetzer, tell us.
Well, Dean, right off the bat, none of the Doge cuts are in this bill. So how beautiful can it be? And it adds trillions to the national debt, and it cuts Medicaid and other programs that are very meaningful to the American people that make a difference in their lives. So if you ask my assessment, who's got the better of the argument about the BBB, it's Elon Musk, hands down. Trump's trying to salvage it, but it's not going to go. Ron Johnson has already said he's got enough votes to defeat it. And when Ron Johnson says he's got the votes, he's got the votes.
Well, Jim, it was just yesterday, Marjorie Greene Taylor said she regrets voting for the bill because it establishes a clause that prohibits states from having any discretion whatsoever in any AI affiliated matters whatsoever, and gives full, complete carte blanche power to the federal. Isn't that a problem?
Yeah. For a decade, for 10 years, states can do nothing. Well, that's plenty of time for AI to completely take over surveillance and begin managing your state covertly. So Marjorie, whom I adore, I think she's wonderful. If her vote were pulled back, the bill wouldn't have passed. It would have been 214. Well, then I guess the speaker would have cast the deciding vote. But she would not have been alone, Dean. She would not have been alone. I think there are a lot of members of the House right now who regret their vote.
Jim, she said that the bill is going to be brought back to the House because it won't pass the Senate, or there's going to be some amendments to it. But here's one more maybe explanation from the Donald. And then let's get into what Elon's saying next. And we certainly want to get all of our viewers out there to see what you're saying in the live chats. Check this out one more time as Donald Trump tries to explain what in Hades is going on.
Criticism that I've seen, and I'm sure you've seen, regarding Elon Musk and your big, beautiful bill. What's your reaction to that? Do you think it in any way hurts passage in the Senate, which, of course, what is you're seeking?
Well, look, I've always liked Elon, and it's always very surprised. You saw the words he had for me, and he hasn't said anything about me that's bad. I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill, because the bill is incredible. It's the biggest cut in the history of our country. We've never cut. It's about 1.6 trillion in cuts. It's the biggest tax cut. You would say, people's taxes will go way down, but it's the biggest tax cut in history. It's we are doing things in that bill that are unbelievable. And when you look at what we're doing for small businesses, for people, for middle-income people, all of the things that we're doing, nobody's ever seen anything like it. And Elon's upset because we took the EV mandate, and which was a lot of money for electric vehicles, and they're having a hard time, the electric vehicles, and they want us to pay billions of dollars in subsidy.
Jim, there seems to be just a conflict of interest, don't you think, with the electric cars? But I thought electric cars are good for the country. Are they not?
Oh, God, they're a catastrophe, Dean. They create more problems than they solve because of lithium-ion batteries, which can explode at a moment's notice. You have to do all kinds of raping and pillaging of Earth, usually with slave labor, including children. They're a disaster. They are worse for the environment than gas and oil vehicles ever. And I approve of removing an electric car mandate. We got millions of electric vehicles sitting on dealers' lots across the country. They won't sell. Americans are smart enough to realize they're a calamity.
Jim, I know a lot of people that rather push a Ford or a Chevy than drive an electrical vehicle. Let's see here what Elon Musk is saying, Jim, because this doesn't make sense whatsoever, and this will change the markets. Well, here is the Sun. Musk is now calling for Donald Trump to be impeached and goes wild on a wild Epstein rant ever. Donald branded Elon crazy as feud explodes. Donald Trump, yeah, it's exploding. Here it is. Now, this is something interesting, Jim. I want to raise this question because Trump brought up the black eye. The black eye has always been a symbol of being part of the Illuminati club. We've seen it with Jay Leno. Here it is. Musk had a friendly send-off stepping down. Now, Jim, how does a multi-billionaire get a black eye? And then furthermore, how come he doesn't even bother to cover it up with makeup at this point? It is a ritualistic kind of overture, is it not?
Well, that's an interesting observation, Dean. I can't account for it, but I'll tell you.
It is something.
The electric vehicles have limited range. They require a long time to charge. They're highly impractical. They have very limited traction. They're a bad investment, very bad. And if something goes wrong with a battery, which can explode spontaneously, can catch fire if it's exposed to water. If you had to drive through salt water, for example, your car could blow up underneath you. They're a really bad idea. And it's unbelievable to me they got this far with such a bad idea, a bad plan, a disaster in the making.
Yeah, no kidding, Jim. Let's get back to finding out what in the world went on, just to add before I forget, they're canceling so many of these electrical car vehicle contracts, Jim. It's really insane how the rejection of these cars is just nationwide. Okay, so let's continue here as we try to get to the bottom of what in the world truly happened here, as people are quite still puzzled. So he's calling for for Trump to be impeached. He also posted President versus Elon, who wins? My money on Elon. Trump should be impeached and J.D. Vance should replace him. The call comes. Now, this is after Vance, and Jim, maybe you can explain. Trump has given the data information of Americans to Plantar with J.D. Vance at the helm and Peter Thiel. Can you explain this, please?
Yeah, very bad. This is one of these public-private enterprises where this outfit is being given records about American citizens that do not belong in the private domain whatsoever, period, under any circumstances. So this is catastrophic. About the Epstein, it actually, Dean, if you dig deep, Donald Trump had 10 prior suits involving relations with young girls, some as young as 11, that were, for the most part, settled out of court. But it's a bad record. My dear colleague, Joaquin Agopian, has 10 volumes on pedophilia and politics. He's a world-leading expert. And he observed to me Trump's name appears like 47 times in his 5-volume work.
Okay, well, that leads us to this, because look what Musk says at the following. Musk wrote, who wins? He gave a one-word information. He does. Then call came moments after the tech mogul claimed Trump refuses to release the infamous Epstein files because his name is in them. Time to drop the really big bomb. Trump is in the Epstein files, Musk posted. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT. He later added, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. There's no evidence that Trump had any involvement in Epstein crimes, he's saying.
No, that's seen as false. The idea that there's no evidence is just an apology for Trump. That's not warranted, I guarantee you.
Well, he seems to be in the files. And here's a little clip, Jim. We'll get back to you just to refresh our memories late last year of how this all came about.
The 9/11 files.
Yeah,
Would you declassify JFK files?
yeah.
Would
I
you?
I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know it. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would.
Jim?
Well, Dean, I'm telling you, Joaquin Gopin is the world's leading
here.
expert on this area here. And he has told me Trump's involved, that it's not a myth, it's not a mistake, it's not misinformation, it's bona fide, it's verified, and it's true.
He is going wild on Trump. Let's see what the people are saying. How about we try that, Jim? We have a lot of people who are yapping away all over the world here. Well, let's start with Rumble. Thank you for being here tonight. We have the following. Yes, Jay Leno got knocked out long ago. That's another thing, too, is the black eye feature. Yeah. Do you remember that, Jim, when we talked about Jay Leno?
Jay had a black eye, too. Yeah, I've never quite pieced that together, Dean. I think you're on top of it more than I.
Yes. Okay. Here's another one here, too, just to show people exactly what we're talking about. The Black Eye Club. What is that, you might ask? Good question. Well, here's just a little scale of it. Look at this. Just so you have a clear view here. Charlie Rose, Black Eye, Barack Obama, the last Pope, Robert Downey Jr., John Kerry, George Bush, Kanye West, Ben Affleck, John McCain, Prince Philip, Stephen Colbert, Harry Reid, Reese Witherspoon, Charles Bronson, Ryan Gasoline, Madonna. And look at all these people. So this happens, and they're not supposed to cover it up. They're not supposed to cover it up. Yeah, it's a symbol. I'm telling you, Jim, it is quite frightening here. Okay, we have people on Rumble saying, here it is. He probably got knocked out. Trump tossed his buddy under the electric bus. Jim, here's how I feel. I'm not even ruling out that he was forced out and kicked out, Elon Musk. So there's several ways to look at it. Elon Musk, who, by the way, Bannon wanted him out. You have people like General Flynn, and other people we know that have said that Elon's part of the CCP. It's Elon's money that's funneling the genocide in the Congo right now. He's considered a warmonger in that whole entire country. That he's connected to China. Jim, do you think that's a very foreign kind of angle to even entertain at this point?
I'll tell you,
he was kicked out.
All hailing him as an American hero with the Dodge, with finding all the deep cuts. He was exposing all kinds of corruption. That was bona fide, Dean. He was exposing corruption everywhere he looked, and it was being well received by the American people. This idea of banishing him, smearing him and all that, I don't think that's going to go down well, even coming from Donald Trump.
I agree with you there too, Jim. Okay. And let's see what people are saying here. We have Claudine saying evil peoples. Yes, it is. We have Gwyneth Davis saying following. Hi from cold South Island, New Zealand. I thought Trump banned Epstein from Mar-a-Lago. He did ride up on Epstein's plane within America. I just can't see Trump being involved in the sick child situation. Yeah, That's interesting. We have Manx Cat says Getty has photos of Epstein and Trump together, hundreds of them. Again, so what? Nigel says surely Trump is not 100% innocent. He must have floors. What? Thank you, Nigel. And here's John Davies saying, if you look at people in the Black Eye Club, you'll notice only the left eye is black. Well, Elon's eye is on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly. Yeah, look at these, but look at the lower right there. That's one on the right, the lower right.
Yeah, but they could be mirrored pictures as well. It's hard to tell because they could be.
True.
It's hard to tell.
You're right.
But then again, Elon was making references that Trump is just a clone. Let me go to that one. But here's another one here. Musk. Now, what did we think about this statement here? Elon Musk tells Laura Loomer Republicans should side with him because Trump will die first. What does that mean, Jim?
Well, I think he means it literally. I think Trump is older than Elon. He's going to have a shorter life expectancy from now.
Without me, Trump.
That is affecting the election. I think he's right. He made the difference for Republicans taking control of both the House and the Senate. I believe that. On the other hand, Trump has been, Elon has made his career on space flights, and some of which appear to me to be utterly fantastic, and on electric cars, which I think are an ecological disaster. So, neither of them is completely clean in their hands. But with this kind of dispute about the government and the bill, I think Elon has the better of it.
Okay, so what do we make of this now? Is this political theater, Jim? Is this political theater? Are they both in on just a distraction to get us all kind of talking about personalities and anything else? What do you make of that charge too?
No, Dean, this is bona fide. This is real. Two men of great wealth, stature, ego are in conflict, and this is how it's playing out on the world stage. But
now we look back to, Jim, we look back at Vivek Swamsey, who was supposed to be part of Doge in the beginning, but as you recall, he resigned before the thing started. Now we're kind of looking at that with another take on it. Do we see the return of Vivek Swamsey? What do you think, Jim?
Dean, that slipped by me, so I'd like to know more. It could mean a kind of resurrection, but I don't know the specifics.
Interesting. Okay, we have a lot of people on Rumble saying, and nothing surprised me. We have people, it could be AI. Thank you. We have Rebel Mama saying, think bigger. By the way, if you want to call in, feel free to do so. We have a live performance coming in the second hour here, or right after the break. Feel free to do so at this given time. Let me play some other things here too. Just yesterday, we talked about the debt ceiling. Well, in case you missed it, here's just a little revived look at that.
Pushing Congress to pass his, quote, big, beautiful bill by the 4th of July. It extends tax cuts while cutting funding for Medicaid by adding work requirements. It also raises the debt ceiling, a deal breaker for Kentucky Republican Senator Rand Paul.
I can't, in good conscience, give up every principle that I stand for. That's that we can't accumulate more debt.
The president posted about Paul, writing, quote, he loves voting no on everything. He thinks it's good politics, but it's not.
Well, I would say that's not actually true. I would say that I've been pretty consistent.
The Congressional Budget Office estimates the bill would add more than $2 trillion to the deficit over 10 years. The White House pushed back on the CBO report.
This is an institution in our country that has become partisan and political.
Even Elon Musk called the spending bill a disgusting abomination.
The bill passed in the House last month by one vote, with all Democrats voting against it. Now Senate Democrats are following suit.
Tax breaks for the ultra wealthy, paid for by gutting health care for millions of Americans.
North Carolina Republican Senator Tom Tillis is concerned about rolling back clean energy tax credits.
If we're not careful, the only people who will be happy with the outcome will be China.
But Senate GOP leaders are optimistic the bill will eventually get 51 votes and deliver on the president's agenda.
We will not fail. We will bring forward from the Senate a robust product that will protect the American people.
In Washington, I'm Maddie Beertemple.
I don't think it's going to pass, Dean. We got not only Rand Paul and Ron Johnson, Lisa Murkowski, and I think at least two others. I'm unsure whether Susan Collins is among them, but she may well be. I do not believe this bill is going to pass. And that means it will be sent back to the House. It's going to be dramatically modified. And, you know, one of the major tells here, it includes none of the Doge cuts. None of them are codified into law. And that's just, in my opinion, outrageous and an insult to the good work that Elon Musk did here. Again, I say, I think he has the better of this argument.
It is not looking good at all. We have here we have some more people. We have Liz Marchand saying Trump has put it out there that Biden died in 2020. Liz Marchand, he has. In fact, here is one of the videos that are now coming out about Biden. Look at this, Jim. Check this out here.
Oh, that's a mechanical walking as though it were a mechanical.
Yeah, there. It's all coming out, Jim. It's all coming out now.
Dean, I've been emphatic about this since the first debate between Biden and Trump, that it wasn't the real Joe from Delaware. My research suggests he actually died in 2017. Trump's making it 2020. But I guarantee you, this has been on my blog forever, that Joe Biden, who was let me call him imposter for the last 4 years, and the Joe Biden who was a senator from Delaware have different shape and size of skull. They have different handwriting, completely different. They have different social interaction. They have different styles of speaking, different levels of intellect. This guy in the White House, completely inferior to the earlier version of Joe. Mark my words. They're not the same person.
Okay, Jim, we have a caller. We do have a caller. And yeah, a lot of people are saying, is this a distraction? Is it? We have Cape Man 10. This is all theater for the masses. We have a lot of people feel the same, and that Doge is bull crap. And Jim is right. All right, Brett Moorhead is getting extra credit here tonight. All right, we have someone calling in. We have Mouth of the South, Leo over there in the south of Canada, who, well, let's get a Canadian's take on it, shall we, Jim? Some outside fresh perspective, shall we? Leo, welcome to Real Deal Media Live with Dean and Jim here.
What's happening?
What a bunch of drama, isn't it, Leo?
Yeah, I know Jim's going to get mad at me for saying this, and some people are going to get mad at me, but I listened to you, Dean, and I think Joe Biden's making Trump look good right now. Right? Everything the guy said from day one, the war was going to stop in Ukraine. It's only intensifying. The Israelis are intensifying. Okay, now we're looking at a war possibly with Iran. Okay, you got Elon Musk. I don't know if it's we'll call him Judas. Okay, who just put the daggers into Trump. Right? I think it's all a bunch of baloney. At the end of the day, we're going to pay. And the 50% tariffs on aluminum and steel affects me personally because I'm in the tooling industry, and guess what? We cut a lot of aluminum and a lot of steel. And you know, for somebody who says, oh, he likes Canadians and everything else, you can stick your 51 state right up your fucking fat ass now, because it's not going to happen. You'll never get my vote for it. I don't want to be a part of that shit.
Okay. Thank you, Leo. The very good point. Never, yeah. Jim, you want to respond to that? That's a Canadian's take on it. Go ahead, Jim.
Well, it depends which part. I'm very unhappy. I think the tariffs have been overplayed. I don't think he's handled it well. He said he was going to stop the stupid wars. He hasn't done it. He could have cut it off, shut down aid to Ukraine. It would have been overdone overnight, similarly to Israel on the genocide. Now we have the U.S. vetoing a Security Council vote 14-1 to impose a permanent ceasefire to end the genocide, and the U.S. isn't even on the right side of that issue. Yeah, of course. The guy who was in the White House before was a non-entity. He wasn't even controlling the auto pen. There are multiple identities as to who was handling. Elizabeth Warren turns out to be among them, sad to say. But of course, compared to Biden, Trump is superior, but compared to President Trump is a failure compared to the candidate. We like what Trump said on the campaign trail, but he's not following through.
No,
Right.
he's not. He could be a clone, Jim. Okay. Thank you, Leo. Thank you, Leo, for calling in, and we hope we hope you reconsider on joining the United States down the road when we have a better deal for you. Thank you very much, Leo.
Go ahead. Endorsing a carny that we have. Okay, we got a carnival happening over here, like Eric Tate said last night. Okay, Trump endorsed him, and you know what? You had me at hello, like Tim said. What a positive campaign. Okay, if he would have just kept to 10% of what he said, we'd be all right. Okay, and I don't think we're going to be all right. We're in for some serious problems over here in North America.
I think we're in agreement. Thank you for joining us.
Peace, guys.
Excellent.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Speaking of that, hey Jim, I don't know if you heard, there's now a fifth plane that's been discovered in the 9/11 story. Did you hear about this?
You better fill me in, Dean, because I can't. Well, there was a fifth plane in the sense that there was an additional aircraft that was flown toward the Pentagon and then flew over it at the same time a missile was fired into the building. But two planes, 11 and 77, weren't even in the air that day. This was an additional aircraft. So you could claim there are 5 alleged planes that were involved in 9/11.
Well, this is coming out now. I think we're getting close to 9/11 disclosure in a big way. Here it is. Harvey Levin from TMZ is now talking about it.
Everything about 9/11, you don't. There was a fifth plane. We have the evidence. The government tried to bury it, but you can see it on YouTube. It's called TMZ Investigates 9/11, the fifth plane. Prepare to be shocked.
Well, there you go. It seems to be coming all out. Jim, I don't think there's much longer they can hold off more truth about coming out about 9/11. When TMZ is now covering it, you got Ron Johnson over there. It's just a matter of time, Jim, before it all comes out, unlike Epstein files.
In 2005, Dean, and we've done a pretty good job of sorting out what really happened. You can find it on my 9/11 special reports. Go to my BitChute channel, Jim Fetzer, and just do a search on 9/11. And you're going to find a whole lot of evidence about what really happened, contradicting the official narrative.
Okay, here's Trump just said we need more popcorn. I think I'm popcorned out, but yes, it's a movie. Real Mrs. Butterworth says, Elon says Trump is on the list, and boom, the media loves him, and Dems will demand the release of Epstein list. Perfect, because Trump is in it, they'll demand the Epstein list be pulled out. Okay, that's a political angle I didn't think about. Very good point. International sex drug trafficking from Assad, that's probably why. Yeah, I think so. We have Jason Wright. Thank you, Jason. He was recharging in the basement during 2016 to 2019. Interesting. We have Robin that says, I believe Trump stops the EV electrical vehicle mandate, and therefore you are not adding billions in subsidies from taxpayers. Okay, we have OCC Doc saying Trump is running a scam administration. Elon is exposing him. All right, we have Nigel Dyer saying that they are pushing bots to take over the workforce. That's why they're trying to depopulate the people. That's true. That is true. And finally, almost finally, we just got word Vancouver is on fire. Yes, it's getting bad over there. Yes, it is. Okay, and finally, almost the truth about 9/11 is there for those who seek it. And hi, Dean and Jim. Okay, Jim. What can we say? We got a lot of people coming on. We got a record amount of people watching here tonight.
Excellent.
And I think you're right. Real Jane Doe, number one's complaint from 2008, alleges both Trump and Epstein raped her. Yeah, I heard about that too. I think Wayne Madison knows a lot bit more about that. You might want to get in touch with him, Jim, if you know what I mean. Okay. Stand by, Jim. We have a break coming up here. It's getting to that time. Okay. We're going to take a quick break here at Real Deal Media Live. And when we get back, we have a live musical performance here tonight. You're going to really thoroughly enjoy from one of our very own members. I'm going to be joining her. Angelina Wolf is going to be up, and the sultry song stylings of original music of Angelina Wolf. You don't want to miss that here at Real Deal Media Live. A live for the masses, for the people, for the effective. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Jim attempts to date again in 2025, and the following happens. A, gets frustrated with all the toxic masculinity talk and punches out a millennial. Or is it B, goes on a date and starts reminiscing on his old Marine days, ask his date if she wants to go to a titty bar. Okay. That might be the answer right there. We may not have to go any further. Is it C, recites French poetry and begins to develop a French accent that never goes away? Or is it finally D, realizes everyone is miracle jabbed and decides to read the paperback edition of War and Peace? Wow. Okay, Jim Fetzer, tell us what happens on this date in 2025, if you could.
Well, I'd go on a date, and after a couple of Moscow mules, I'd start reminiscing about my old Marine Corps days and how much I enjoyed titty bars.
We are back. We are back. And how about those Marine days, Jim? I must say, I wish I could have got more from you. All right, we are back. We are back here. Thank you very much. Welcome back to Real Deal Media Live. I'm still Dean Ryan, who's cruising with you midnight and beyond. I'm joined tonight, with the one and only Jim Fetzer. He's back as well. And we've been discussing Elon and Trump and everything about it and getting your views on it and takes. But are we ready for some music, Jim?
Indeed, Dean. I'm most looking forward to this.
Yes. Okay. So that's it. Let's get ready for it, and let's welcome to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Baja, Mexico, over there in Baja, California, is a longtime viewer, one of our favorite members, Night Owls, the one, the only, the solstice, the beautiful Angelina Wolf. Welcome to the stage, and let's play a little duo, shall we?
All right, let's do it. Hi,
All right,
friends.
go ahead.
A song called Castles in the Sand. How can love bring me down? Always seem to go away. Leave me on my knees crying. Time I lay these burdens down. No matter what you say, there's just no denying. We were merely building castles in the sand, just for the tides to take the sea. All I want to remember are those sunsets. They went on forever. How can love bring me down? When I gave it everything, I never stopped trying. We were merely building castles in the sand, just for the tides to take the sea. All I want to remember are those sunsets. They went on forever. We were really building castles in the sand, just for the tides to take the sea. All I want to remember are those sunsets, how they went on forever.
All right. All right. Thank you. Wonderful. Angelina Wolf, everybody. Angelina Wolf.
Thanks. All right, everybody.
Jim,
My big debut.
well, let's, what a debut here, and let's put you in the debut seat. Jim, who would have thought that that's the talent we have here? But it's true. Jim, what are your thoughts on that wonderful performance?
Oh, I thought that was just a delight. It was a real treat, Dean. I was glad, and I want more. And I'll bet we have other viewers out there who could join too in other performances as well. But this was a wonderful initiation. I loved it.
Oh, thank you. It turns out we're surrounded by musicians in this Real Deal Media family.
Fabulous. And I love it too.
Yeah.
And when our wonderful fans all over the world love it on Rumble, we have Give It Up for Angelina, Marnie Says, and Rock Out. Just lovely, the sultry Angelina Wolf. If you want to hear more of her music, and I'm going to help showcase that more. So, come to realdealmedia.tv. We're going to start showcasing some of our talented night owls, as Jim has expressed. We have Leo, bravo. Yeah. So, anyways, everybody, round of applause for Angelina Wolf. Okay.
God bless you.
There you have it. There you have it. Indeed. Jim, it fills my heart, doesn't it? It fills my heart.
What a treat, Dean. A great idea.
Definitely. What a treat. Okay. We have a lot of people who are talking. Here's one thing here too, Jim. This is a story I want to do. We haven't had a chance to do this story about de-aging. I was going to wait to do this till next week, but this is about all these de-aging things. They have Ozempic, they have this. Jim, have you ever wondered where the fountain of youth is?
Dean, I've always been happy to grow, live a life, and enjoy it, and not worry about extending it arbitrarily. I accept my mortality. I don't have a problem with it. So fountain of youth has never been very much on my mind. Certainly not a preoccupation.
Well, Jim, I don't accept your mortality. I have to find the fountain of youth for you, because we have to keep you around a little longer. Here it is. It's breaking the aging code. This is real fun, and you can catch Jim joining us next week too for the return of the men's. You don't want to miss that. Look at this here. This is what Mike is talking about over there at the Wonderful Natural News. Breaking the aging code, how diet shapes longevity for breakfast onward. Okay, so we're going to learn some things. Jim, what is the average breakfast for you when you wake up? What are you eating?
Sausage sandwich, and I like the steak style, but I also like croissant. I mean, that's my typical, and I add a little barbecue sauce, Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce for extra flavor.
Okay, that's a hell of a rich breakfast. Well, in case you don't want to have a rich breakfast, you want to live longer, look at some of these things here. They're saying mix of oatmeal, black sesame, nuts, milk support anti-aging fiber. Jim, I don't think you could fit that in your sausage sandwich. Broccoli sprouts, pomegranates, spinach, strawberries, mushrooms combat aging. Diets from regions with longevity highlights grains, fish, and plant-based eating to reduce inflammation. And so, yeah, nutrient-rich foods. We have to change your diet. It's certainly a thing we have to change the diet. Okay, we have one more topic here we didn't get to. These are some of the things we couldn't get to during the week. Real Deal Pets. Let's get to our Real Deal Pets now. I have to. Well, it's time to talk about pet miracle jabs, a very hard topic. Jim knows all about it, so do I. We're the topic of, well, what about the miracle jabs for our most loved ones? Do they have to go through it too? Well, yes, they're saying they do. Here is some stories on it.
Hey, everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com.
Okay, well, that was the wrong video. We do apologize. This is coming from Natural News. Let me read it for you. But they're now saying that people are demanding that there's no... Jim, did you know they force vaccines on your pets in cities? You have to register your pets like they're weapons. Veterinarians are pushing the miracle jabs hard on pets. and they want the pets to have the real ID in their skin. Well, Natural News is saying hell no to that, because not only is it unethical, but the cancer in our pets are rising. Do you see the problem with this prospect?
Of course, and Mike Adams all over it. I'm very glad.
So I'm glad we're raising to it. So I think now that the schedule for the miracle jab, well, I guess it's back on now, right? Trump put it back on. Is that what happened? Okay, so
Dean, I'm very worried about this. We thought RFK Jr. was going to clean it all up. It appears he's compromised, I'm sorry to say. And it's just not playing out the way we expected once again. The guy on the campaign trail was sensational. The guy in office today is not.
So what are people saying out there? Are your pets miracle jabbed? Are they having problems? Yes. We have Samantha Dubai saying sad pets need no jabs. I don't think so either. We have Claudine saying, yep, they kill my dog every year. They're evil. He died 4 years ago. Still cry. Yes, the miracle jabs have killed so many pets out there. We have Dame Pam. She said, I'm about to get a new puppy. Well, congratulations to you, Dame. Good on you. We have people that said, yum, sweet baby Rays for breakfast. That's the kind of fighter. Yes. Here we have Rebel Mama that says, isn't it ironic that weight loss products are being pushed bigger than ever while we have food shortages getting worse every day? That is true. I never thought about that. That's on Rumble. We also have, nobody jabs my fur babies, Marnie says. And only, had Film TV Biz on Rumble says, had 2 Maine Coon kitties. Only one got vaxxed. He got sick, became diabetic, required insulin, and he passed much sooner than we expected. We're sorry to hear that. And finally, we have one last subject here as we now get into religion for Real Deal Religionists.
Now they crawl in underground tunnels that lead all the way to heaven. On this day, many
Real Deal Religionists. Let's talk about it now. Well, now the experts, the scientists, the studies, and yes, the test results are out. And what are they saying? Well, they're saying that Adam and Eve were actually real after all. Well, look at that. Those look familiar, and I think that's the munchkin in the middle. So you know what I'm talking about out there. Well, scientists now claim to have evidence that Adam and Eve really did exist. Well, in case you forgot, the Bible states that Adam and Eve were the first 2 humans ever created and were made by God. They were the first 2 humans alongside other, like the cockroaches, who were made. Scientists believe that they may have finally cracked the age-old question of this. The Bible narrates that Adam and Eve were the first humans created by God and lived in the Garden of Eden. They're central to the belief that all humans descended from an original pair. Well, despite skepticism surrounding the Bible tale, an increasing body of evidence suggests that parts of the story could hold some truth. Well, astonishingly, archaeologists have unearthed signs indicating that Eden might not only have been real, but also potentially the cradle of civilization. As reported by the Daily Mail recently, biologists have demonstrated that living humans do indeed share a common ancestry with Eve. However, reconciling the biblical accounts with contemporary science necessitates discarding much of the narrative. Well, what do I mean exactly? Well, in the scriptures, Adam and Eve reside in a Garden of Eden depicted as a land of abundance and beauty. Intriguingly, the Bible provides a fairly precise indication of the location of this so-called mythical Garden of Eden, they're saying. Well, Genesis, the first book, describes a river flowing through Eden, splitting in tributaries such as the Fishon, the Gihon, the Tigris, and the Euphrates. So they're finding more of these things to come true. Let me just bring you back in, Jim. Isn't this going to blow up the science community that this could be true after all? And the more we look, the more we find. Doesn't this make you rethink a lot of things happening?
No, Dina, I'm sorry it doesn't, but I mean, these are charming photographs. resemblances of Trump as Adam and Putin as Eve. I find that entrancing. But yeah,
We have
mythical Garden of Eden is in the vicinity of the Tigris Euphrates rivers in Iraq. And of course, we went over and we're bombing the hell out of it. I mean, it's all outrageous. Evolutionary theoreticians agree man originated in Africa with the out of Africa hypothesis, spread to different parts of the world, and then as a function of those conditions, as subpopulations evolved in different fashion to produce the races, and of course, all kinds of individual differences. It's the facts of the matter are actually more fascinating than the fantasies.
We have OCC Doc saying the Garden of Eden was located in what is now Iraq. I mean, Jim, doesn't this now give credence to the fact that we're living through hell today, all because Eve took the damn apple, that our lives would be much better had she not taken the apple? Don't you now succeed and give into that theory? I think there's a lot of truth to it, Jim. I'm telling you. And furthermore, if we're going to be honest about it, if there is some validity, the only reason, and I know Jim agrees with me, and I speak for all the guys here, the only reason, Jim, we're chasing women is, quite frankly, we're trying to get our rib back, as they were taking a rib for us to make them in our shadows. Isn't that the case, Jim? Don't you?
Who could argue with that? Who could argue with that?
Thank you very much. I think I knew you would agree to that. Okay, let's see what some people say. Yeah, we have Real General Monty saying Tigris and Euphrates. Yep. The Nile River, too. Here is, yes, a lot of sad stories about pets out there. A lot of sad stories. Okay, we're going to get out of here. And we have Dame Pam says, Adam and Eve are in my family tree. Seriously, been doing genealogy for 40 years. Yeah, that's a crazy story. Okay, final thought here. That's time for it. Final thoughts here. Real Media Live. Trump versus Elon. Yes. Final thoughts. Let's start with Jim Fetzer.
Well, if Trump would only revert to the campaign version of Trump, he could do the world a lot of good. End these stupid wars overnight, to cut off the supplies to Ukraine, cut off the supplies to Israel, stop the genocide. He does seem to be wanting to avoid a war with Iran. But right now, Russia's in the process of retaliating against Ukraine. And believe me, by the time Putin is done, the Ukrainians are going to be ready to give it up.
Yes, it is, and I concur to that. Also, we talk about political theater. Well, it was Elon Musk who floated the idea just months ago to redistrict Thomas Massey, who was complaining about the spending. Redistrict him for complaining. Well, now it's him who's complaining about the exact same thing. I think whoever out there sees the political theater involved here, I think you're absolutely right. This makes no sense. It's not even believable, but it's the ends that we're going to try to find and justify as people are asking, where's the Epstein files? This could be the route and the road to take us there. So anyways, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Members, you'll see Jim and I and others this coming weekend. Don't want to miss that. And thank you, everybody, for helping keep Real Deal Media afloat, keeping us alive while we're under construction. For Jim Fetzer, I'm Dean Ryan, saying thank you for sharing a bit of your night. Always remember to stay tuned and stay awake. Good night.
the show.